Hey, what's going on everybody? So in this video, we're going to be learning about basics of flash photography. So you've been taking pictures without a flash, you're not entirely happy with the results. Sometimes the lighting is behind your subject and it becomes like a silhouette. So now you're wondering how to actually get around that. In my previous video, it was about the different metering modes, which can help combat that effect of the silhouette when it's backlit. However, that only goes so far. So what I'm going to do now is kind of give you some pointers in regards to when you are shopping for a flash, what to look for to get the most bang for your buck and the most features that are completely and utterly useful, every single one of them. And then I'm going to show you how to actually use the flash without the flash looking like you shot it with a flash, because that seems to be the biggest complaint. I don't like flash. Oh my gosh, I really don't like flash because every time it just looks terrible. Everything's so bright and it just looks fake. Well, there are ways to actually not make it look like you shot the picture with flash. So I'm going to show you that. And well, let's get started with what to look for when you're buying a flash. So what you want to actually do is, let's just turn the light on so you can see better. Look for TTL. That is called through the lens. It uses the camera's metering. The camera sends the information to the flash to automatically do the adjustments. That's the easiest way to get started with a flash. And you also want to make sure that every flash has a manual mode. It's rare if the flash, well, I shouldn't say rare, but the more expensive flashes, now when I say more expensive, I'm not talking about millions of dollars or anything. They provide both through the lens camera metering and complete manual control. Now, the through the lens metering, it is good, however, it's not always 100% correct. So that's why you also want to actually start learning how to manually control the flash's output. Now, as you see me scrolling through this dial here, right, these are the different flash outputs. So full 1:1 is full power. You can go all the way down to 1/128th, which is generally used for like macro photography and stuff like that, because you're very, very close to the subject, so you want to reduce the amount of light entirely. The multi, we're not going to get into that. The other thing that you may want to make sure of is high-speed sync. The camera shutter operates at a certain speed. Generally, the cameras are locked. It could be 1/200th of a second, 1/250th of a second. When the camera fires, above the flash sync speed, so 1/200th or 1/250th of a second. So if you have your shutter speed at say 1/320th of a second, the flash can't fire fast enough. It's a synchronization thing. Now, what high-speed flash will do, or high-speed sync will do, is allow the flash to fire at the same speed of the shutter no matter what. So you may want to look into that. It's not an absolute necessity. We can get into that some other time. But basically, the other thing you want to make sure of is that the flash has a tilting head. So what that means is, you look here, the flash head goes up and down, and it also tilts side to side. That's what you want, because in order to make the flash not look like, or make the photo not look like it was taken with the flash, you need to be able to adjust where the flash output is going. You want to bounce it off walls, off of ceilings, things like that. Light is very complex. Hopefully in this next portion of the video, it will explain a little bit more visually, and well, let's get right to it. Alright, well, here we go. I'm going to do a bit of flash photography here quick. Now, if you notice over here, I've got my built-in flash on the camera set up. Basically, a lot of complaints from beginners to photography when they start shooting flash is they don't like how it looks because it looks like it was shot with flash, which is true. That's where one of these come in, which is an external flash, as I mentioned before. Now with the external flash, it's a much larger light source, changes the look of the photo itself if you know how to use it effectively. So I'm going to dim the lights down, take a shot with the built-in flash, and we'll see how it looks. Before I do that, let's just change this over to full automatic mode here. Okay, and here we go. So as you can clearly see, that pretty much does look like it was shot with flash. Now what we're going to do is mount the external flash here. And we're going to leave all the settings the same, and I'm literally going to bounce it directly off the ceiling. Full 90 degrees, straight up and down. I'm going to crank up the light here so you can see that the flash head itself here is actually full 90 degrees, straight up and down, right off the ceiling. Take a shot with that. And there you go. So there's, with the external flash, fired right off the ceiling, bounced, and that's with the camera's built-in flash. So there's a absolutely remarkable difference between the two. This does not look like it was shot with flash at all. This obviously does. So I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a matter of bouncing the light and knowing where to direct the light. So you can effectively use flash without it looking like flash. Now let's turn this flash off. We'll take a shot, full automatic, just like that. So that's how it looks with no flash whatsoever. Now let's introduce the flash. Remember, still in full automatic mode here. So that's with the flash, and that's without the flash. You let me know which one you like. Now, to control the flash, you can adjust the f-stop, which will control the actual output that's received from the camera. It's hard to explain, actually. Basically, how much light from the flash alone makes it into the lens of the camera. So we'll go to f11, do a shot that way. It's a little dark there. Okay, let's go to f16. See, big difference. Now let's go down to, say, f5.6. So you'll notice that as the f-stop here goes up in numbers, the picture gets darker. That's pretty much really all there is to it. It's just a matter of understanding. The shutter speed controls the background and ambient light. The aperture, or f-stop, controls the amount of flash lighting that makes it into the photo. And that's pretty much it. So I hope this helps understand that you can use flash photography in regards to not making it look like you used a flash at all. And I'll see you guys on the next video.